Hi guys, Jenny here from the Dover Cheese Shop. I hope you enjoy the podcast today. While you're in Dover next time, stop in and see us. We're located at 307 Main Street in Port Dover. We have over 150 cheeses in stock at all times. And be sure to check us out online, dovercheese.com.
Dave Scott Hub Media. Today, it's Small Town Business Life, and today we're talking to Linda from Capital Arts Market. But first of all, we got to give a quick shout out to Jenny at Dover Cheese, who sponsors this podcast. Great little store in Port Dover, isn't it, Linda?
Absolutely fabulous. I've been in there a few times, and man, they have such nice, unique products, and it's absolutely wonderful.
And the staff is always wonderful. Great job, Jenny. Keep up the great work. But today we're going to talk arts, and I'm excited to talk to you about the history of Capital Arts Market. If you can give me a little bit of background, I would appreciate that. It's located on 13 Norfolk Street in Simcoe, Ontario.
We are, and I'm not sure exactly of the year that we started the gallery, or it was started by 10 downtown businessmen. It was originally called the Capital Performance Group because they were hoping to start a performance space. The only portion of the space that took off was the art gallery. They were going to close it when I took over in 2018 as the coordinator. I volunteered my time to do that. And I looked at the books and looked at how they ran things. And I thought, well, you know what? We could probably keep this open. If we just change a few things, we can turn it into an artist co-op. And so I approached Steve Flexman and talked to him about it. He was the chair of that board at the time. And he said, yes, he went to the board, to the other members, and they agreed to hand it over to us. And in 2019, we opened an artist co-op. And we have 23 artists currently.
Wow.
From across Southwestern Ontario. Most of them, almost all of them are from Norfolk County. There's a few from outside of the county. They have to be close to the county because they have to be able to work in the gallery. So they have to drive there. So I think our furthest away is maybe Brantford. We have one in Welland, but the rest are Norfolk County.
So you guys are open. Can you give me a little bit about your business times and sort of? I like that idea, right? Because then you're when you're involved in it, in that aspect of it, you get to take your turn, if you will. You get to promote your own stuff, and you get to look at the other stuff around you as well.
Exactly. And when people come into the gallery, they're talking to an artist. The person who's looking after them is essentially an owner. If you're part of the co-op, you own it. And so it's great in that aspect. Everybody takes a turn. Everybody pays a small fee to be there. Everybody pays a small commission. Some of our members offer classes to the community. Something I'd like to promote is in September, we're offering for anyone to submit their artwork to a small work show. And here's a sample of what a piece that I'm working on. And they can't be any bigger than 6 by 6 inches or 6 inches in any dimension. So it can be even 3-dimensional work. That's coming up in September. So at the end of August, if you've got small work you'd like to put in, please come to the gallery or fill out an application form. There's a small fee. But the fee, half of the money that we collect from people will go back to the people in the show. We do a popular choice. People get to vote on their favorite piece, and then we give half of the money back to the people who are in the show.
That's a pretty cool idea. I like that. Can I ask your history in art? Like, you're a painter, I take it, obviously. Where did it start? How? Were you a kid? Were you?
I've been drawing since I was very young. I ended up doing a degree in art and art history from McMaster University.
Excellent.
I was a teacher in Norfolk County. And when I finished my degree, I decided, I even had my own business, only at that time my name was Linda Weir, not Linda Campbell. And I used to do hand-painted silks and hand-painted t-shirts and lots of things with fabric. I did that for about 7 years. Was no money in it, as it's always the struggling artist. So I gave it up, went back into teaching. And now that I'm retired from working in education, I am back volunteering my time in the arts because that's what I love. And once you're an artist forever.
It's almost therapeutic, isn't it? Like I always appreciate when I get to sit down and rate a story. It's very consuming, but it's very rewarding at the same time. And it almost feels, I'm sure when you paint something is almost, I don't want to say relief, but the joy when it's done, right?
Yes, and the steps along the way, when you start, you do an underpainting. But I don't just paint, I do other things too. But anything creative, anything with your hands, for me, is your mind is in that space, and it takes away all the worries of the world. And a lot of artists find that they get so focused on what it is they're doing and creating, that all of that nonsense that goes on in our world, they can just shut it out.
The visual experience when I see like some of the guys that I know that paint, and it's just, I don't know, it's captivating. Like, you can fall into a painting, right? Like you sit there and you just like, well, what does this, or I don't even so much what it means, but just the sheer beauty of some of the work that we've seen locally is incredible. I used to remember as a little kid going to art in the park in Port Dover,
Right.
and just seeing all the artwork and just being amazed. Like you just walk through there and just look at everything. And I was drawn to fish tugs because that's what my dad did, but I always just remember seeing those paintings and they always just stuck with you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's interesting the way that happens in your life.
And everybody has a different way of expressing themselves artistically. I mean, if you come into the gallery, we've got people who work, Tony Kokas works in wood. We've got Ingrid Irvin Zimmer, who works in glass, and she does stained glass, and she also does fused glass. We've got Joseph Panacci and Phyllis Zapadinsky, who do pottery. Phyllis also does work in glass. We've got a huge number of painters who do a huge number of different subjects. There's just such a variety of works in our gallery. It's a wonderful place to come in and just look around. Some people are intimidated. Oh, I don't want to come in. They might force me to buy something. Well, you know what? We just want you to come in and look. Please come and look. And so when people come in and they look around, and they're always amazed at what's there.
Yeah.
And we have the small gallery, like I said, we're having a small work show, but every month that small gallery changes. And it's right now we have one outside artist and two inside artists are putting on a really wonderful show. So that, and around Christmas time, we turn that gallery into a Christmas heaven, so there's just so much to see and appreciate. And if you do want a wonderful gift, it's a great place to go, because we have one of a kind, unique handmade stuff.
It must be pretty fun when you get a group together that, like you said, you got 27 different artists at some point, right?
Yeah,
and you have a few of them in the room. Like, it must be such a unique conversation too, because then you're seeing these different styles and opening up different ideas. And I think the everyday person needs just literally to walk through, because I think that's the whole thing of it, is open your eyes to what's around you, what some of the great people in Norfolk County are creating, and have that moment for yourself to enjoy those. Like you said, if you see something that really hits you, you might make that purchase for sure. But at the same time, appreciate what we have as far as what these artists are, correct?
Absolutely. There's wonderful, we even have photographers. We have a photographer who does, who a lot of people know, Larry Monkska, and his photos are renowned, and a lot of them, and he has photo books as well, and the kilns of Norfolk County. I mean, a lot of the kilns in his book are no longer standing.
Yeah.
And so we're capturing our surroundings, and sometimes it's not about so much your surroundings. Sometimes it's about your feelings. It depends on the artist, how they relate to the world that they live in and how they express that.
In such a busy society today too, like I have a friend who's been a photographer forever, and he once sent me this shot. He was in France, and the traffic's just crazy, but there's one lady sitting on like on the edge of a fountain. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was so like clear and distinct, that moment. Like that was one of those pictures where it's like he caught, and he's so good at it, he caught that moment.
Yes.
And in today's society, we don't see those moments anymore. And when you have an artist, they see those moments that we miss.
Yeah, I think our society moves too fast. We're too busy. We don't take the time to stop and just You know, when you're walking from your car into your office, stop and look at that tree that you pass.
Yeah.
You know, have a look, see how it grows. Look at the leaves, look at the bird's nest, look at there's so much in our world that we miss because we just, run past it. And artists capture those moments for sure.
Artists follow a passion. Like that's one thing I've noticed with a lot of the folks that I follow that do certain types of art is their passion is so distinct. Like they're going to create that because it's in them and it has to be created, or they feel that need to get that out, out to the public. You and I were talking about, I don't know, if I rate something and it means so much to me, I feel that sense of joy and relief because it's something I've created that was nothing, right? And when you do that, when you put, your pen to paper or something as far as drawings or paintings, you must have that feeling as well, correct?
Oh, absolutely. It's something, if it's in you to do, then you have to do it. I'm creating with these hands all the time. Whether it's I'm stitching on something or I'm painting or I'm drawing or I do some writing too, but it has to, even when I'm sitting watching TV, my hands are doing something.
You gotta be busy.
My hands are stitching. I've learned a new method of quilt making lately, and I've been working on that. And it's amazing how I just have to do those things. And I'm always very pleased when I'm done. And
Yeah.
Sometimes I put things in the gallery, sometimes I give them to people. It's a satisfaction of being able to create.
What about the workshops? You mentioned that. Do you guys also for different ages, like for everyone, just different techniques?
Usually adults. I mean, I teach drawing, and I'll be doing a drawing class probably in the fall and a watercolor class. And I've had kids as young as 12 come into my class if they're mature and if they show promise or their parents feel that they really have an ability. I had one young girl who was absolutely amazing. So I do drawing in watercolor, and I'm another artist, Jackie Heron, is doing actually a watercolor class the 26th and 27th of August, if anyone's interested. That's coming up right away. Susan Bennett has in the past, and we'll do oil painting classes. We have other people. Robin Pulver Andrews has done encaustic classes. We've had, I'm trying to remember, Pat Haftar has done collage classes. So you just need to watch our website or Facebook. You can like us on Facebook, and we're also on Instagram, and we have a website.
I was just going to say, you've got it all covered. We'll make sure that we get that and put it at the end for the trailer for the folks to see. I think too, I don't know anymore if, because of my age, if art's even in school anymore. I don't know, but it's such an opportunity. I think that's a younger generation thing that we need to preserve and sort of nurture along.
Yes, I was in education. That was my profession before I retired. And whenever there was a budget cut, it always hit the arts. And it was always such a shame. And I was always so annoyed because it's, I think it's important, especially to people. It's extremely important. It's like breathing, it's part of you. It's something that and some children are so, like, you see right away. I mean, my youngest son, he owns a art business now in Calgary, and he was drawing from the time he could hold a pencil, and he turned it into a lifelong career. So it can happen, and people can do really well with it, but we need to promote it and give kids opportunities to do things.
And there's so many other aspects of it. I'm just going to share a little story from a number of years ago. I did an interview with a client from CMHA, and one of the things that he struggled with was big time anxiety. And what he carried with him all the time was crayons and a coloring book.
Yes.
And I was just watching, as I interviewed this fella, watching him do that and watching just the anxiety slow right down, right? And just come to a nice even level. And I was like, it reminded me how important the arts are to us. Like how calming that was for him. You know what I mean? In that moment. And I just said, wow, like, why are we not investigating this more? Why are we? Why are we not understanding this better, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. When I'm into the zone, when I'm working on a piece and really focusing on what I'm doing, I hear nothing. I see
Yeah,
nothing.
I
You
hear
know,
you. Yeah.
you know, I might be stitching and watching TV, but I'm not creating when I'm doing that. I'm doing the manual end of it.
Yeah.
But when I'm actually in my studio and I'm focused on doing something, it's totally relaxing and totally your mind is right there and all that nonsense in the rest of our world goes away.
When you paint something, do you see the visual first before you even start?
Well, I always use some kind of a reference, a photograph that I've
Okay.
taken.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have the freedom to alter that too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you take a photo, you can't do things now on computers with them and
Yeah.
make it different, right?
Yeah.
But when you're painting, you can make it anything you want. You can change the background, you can change the colors, you can move a person around, yes, you have full choice.
But usually I'll see the body of the work that I want to write in my
Mhm.
mind before I even start. So I have this concept already there. Now I want to fulfill that, right? And I just wondered from your perspective if that's sort of the way you see it too.
Um, yes, there are times when I can't show them to you here, and they probably will never, I don't know if they'll ever get to the gallery, but I was in Iceland and
Oh,
I
wow.
I've done 3 panels about Iceland and they are the landscape, the Earth's crust, and then the major portion of it is the lava and the volcano underneath it. And it's all the fabric underneath is all hand painted and then stitched in bubbles. And it took me ages and ages to do these 3 pieces. But I had a vision for those pieces before I started. Now I used the landscape photos that I took as a reference
Yeah.
for my beginning, and then I went from there. And they're all made out of fabric, and they're really quite stunning in the end. They turned out really well.
It's amazing how that just came to you, eh? Like this when you're that whole process. I do enjoy that aspect of it. I'm getting off topic. I'm sorry. Capital Arts Market.
Yes.
People can. Well, we didn't get your business hours. Do you guys have set hours, or is it open?
Yes, we do. We're open on Tuesday to Friday from 11 to 5, and Saturday we're open from 10 to 3:30.
And folks can just stop in, ask questions, enjoy the art.
You know, you don't have to come in thinking that you're going to have to buy something, because you don't. Please come in and look. We are a gallery. We want people to come in and enjoy the work that's there and the work that's gone into what's there. Yeah, we like to sell, of course, that's part of it, but we also want to bring the arts to this county. We want people to appreciate the art that's there and to have a look and see what people are doing. And there's so much, and it's inspiring for people.
Is there a drive to get back to the uniqueness of, like, everything's so manufactured now, right?
Yes.
So when you get that one-off of something that you can feel in that moment, I think that's coming back. I hope that's coming back to society, don't you?
I think so. I know that people appreciate that these are not manufactured, and we don't. You know, there's some people who like will print their paintings onto a card.
Right.
Perfectly acceptable.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but it's their original painting, right? And the painting's there on the wall. So, yeah, there's an opportunity here to see some very unique things that you're not going to see anywhere else.
There's very few things anymore we can claim as our own, as ownership. And the arts are one of those tools that we have to preserve, protect, and enjoy. Thanks for doing this today, Linda.
No problem. This has been fun. I'd love to talk to you again. We've got lots to talk about when it comes to the arts.
We do. And like you said, you get such a variety of artists. Folks, take the opportunity. 13 Norfolk Street, Simcoe South, I believe. Pop in, check it out, and just enjoy the art. Thanks, Linda.
Thank you so much.